In today's post, I'm going to share with you how I've built 3 teams over the last 4 years across 12 different countries and I don't even know how many time zones, all fully remote, working from home while also homeschooling not one, not two, but 4 kids at home. We're always together, and it's been the most rewarding time of my life. Perhaps a little bit challenging or very challenging, depending on the day. But it's a question I always get asked when I meet new people and I say, yeah, I lead revenue teams. Yeah, I have 4 kids. Yeah, and they're like, what? Wait a minute. You have 4 kids and you lead revenue teams and you do it all from home and you're always together. And how do you do it? Like, what, what's happening, right? How do you manage to work from home with 4 kids constantly present and find some sanity in your life or uninterrupted work? Well, 5 years ago, my wife and I decided to homeschool. It was 2019. Prior to the pandemic, we had been discerning this homeschooling thing for 3 years prior to that. And, if there's enough interest, I can always, you know, post about it and I'll share my homeschooling experience. Um, but it's been a fabulous experience to homeschool, and there are many reasons why we homeschool. And again, I can post about it if you guys are interested. But let me walk you through what a typical day looks like in my house when I am working. So, on a typical day, we have my wife, who is our head teacher, and she typically spends usually the mornings and some of the afternoon schooling the kids. Now, as I mentioned, I have 4 kids, ages 11, 8, 6, and 4. And so they're all on different grades. And although we have a designated place to homeschool within the house, well, we have desks and, nice little library for them, etc. My wife doesn't just stick to that place alone. She'll go into the living room or the kitchen or by the pool or into one of the rooms or, in the hallway, wherever to actually homeschool. And it's been great. She takes turns with all the kids, etc. In our house, I very blessed to have a home office, and my home office has a door that I can see through, and the kids can see me as well. Uh, our doors are never locked, and that's a very important rule in our house. Is we just don't lock our doors. And my office is not in a basement or on a second floor or third floor or separated from the house. My office sits right between the living room and the kitchen. Our house is open concept, so it's right in that area. So it's a high trafficked area. Kids are going there all the time. They're always saying hi, and so because we don't lock doors, my kids always come in, either because they want to say hi or because they have a question or they want to show me something or they need some help with a project or something that they're working on in school, or they just want to hang out and sit on by the couch next to me and listen in, or they're curious about who I'm chatting with. Multiple reasons. Okay. And initially it was difficult because I would have meetings and my kids would show up. Now, I created a rule for all my meetings, and that is if any of the kids from any of the people that I'm meeting with show up, that we introduce them. Even though we may already know who they are because we've introduced them a number of times, we'll introduce them and we'll wave and we'll say hi, because I think it's important as remote leaders that we make our family a part of this journey. We shouldn't shy away from our family and say, no, hey, shh, quiet, I'm in a meeting. Well, no, it accept the interruption, as a sign that maybe you needed or the meeting needed a mental break and then move on. That's my rationale. However, there are times when kids should not be part of a meeting or an activity. For example, when I record a podcast or I'm recording a video or I'm having a very serious meeting with the board or, you know, any other private meeting, then of course kids shouldn't come in. But how do I prevent my kids from coming into my office when I need the space because I'm either producing something, participating in a meeting, or I need quiet time? Well, without further ado, let me present to you this $12 gadget called On Air. Boom. This guy has resolved a lot of the issues. So when I have instructed my kids so that when this guy is on, uh, my kids don't come in, they don't interrupt, they don't even call me from the outside. They know that dad is very, very busy and cannot be interrupted. When it's off, then all bets are off and then they can come in. Of course, we also have rules for how they come into my office. If they can just blurt out things. They'll come in and typically they'll check if I'm in a meeting or they'll ask, "Hey, are you in a meeting or whatnot?" And I'll say, "Yeah, I come in or whatnot." But this has been very, very good, very resourceful, and a lot of fun to implement. So, have you been able to solve this in another creative way? Please add your comments below and join the conversation and let me know. Love to share and learn what you've done as a remote operator. Take care.